Manos de Cristo, literally meaning the hands of Christ. Manos de Cristo, a ministry in East Austin. And right next door is the Buen Early Childhood Development Center with a special outreach to children. These two ministries will be the focus of Austin Faith Dialogue today. And because it's of interest to people throughout the metropolitan area, we invite you to stay with us.
Austin Faith Dialogue, at the crossroads of religion and life. A series highlighting the cultural and social interactions between the worshiping and religious communities in and around the capital city. Austin Faith Dialogue is brought to you by the Austin Metropolitan Ministries in cooperation with KXAN. Join us now in Austin Faith Dialogue.
Hello, I'm Richard Thompson on behalf of Austin Metropolitan Ministries, bidding you welcome to this edition of the show. Just to the east of I-35 and just to the south of Cesar Chavez is a community of service that is connected to the El Buen Pastor Presbyterian Church. It originated two programs that today continue with great effectiveness in that community: the Manos de Cristo, Hands of Christ outreach, and the El Buen Pastor Early Childhood Development Center. We're going to have a chance to learn about this special work particularly with children today, as we talk first to Mary Alloway, who is on the board of Manos de Cristo, yes, and also to Linda Ruiz, who is the director of the El Buen Pastor Early Childhood Development Center. Ladies, I'd just like to say that I've been aware of this ministry that's been going on for some time, but our viewers may not have heard about it before. How long has Manos been in operation?
I believe Manos first originated in about 1988, and I've been involved there since the early 90s.
I see. So just right, almost from the beginning, you've had a connection.
Yes.
And you're a member of one of the Presbyterian churches that helped start that. Which one is that?
Westlake Hills Presbyterian Church.
Okay. And I understand you also are supportive of the work that Linda does at the Childhood Center.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Linda, how long have you been doing that?
I've been at El Buen Pastor since September of 1975. I was their first director and still maintain that title.
So it's 25 years? 25
years. This September we'll celebrate 25 years.
I've heard that some of the children who went through that preschool and early childhood.
The children that were there in 1975 are coming back to me. I have two that have graduated from the University of Texas and become educators.
Is that right?
One of them has her master's, and I have one that is presently helping me with the school agers and is going through her educational plan.
So you stay around long enough, and
they come back and bring their children. So
right,
yes.
Bring their own children. That's great. I think that we might start with a little video that we have of Manos. That gives a little bit of a sense of that overall community and the range of programs that you're connected to. So let's take a look at that if we could.
The Manos de Cristo program can be divided into three areas. There's education, pastoral care, and dental care. Education programming includes after-school tutoring sessions for elementary and junior high youth, along with exciting enrichment activities like camping, swimming lessons, and graffiti paint-outs. The education staff also provides a morning medley program. This is for adult women and men. This program is comprised of classes in sewing, learning English, exercise, and nutrition. Even though the program's focus is on the elderly, the morning medley is really intergenerational. Pastoral care programming's primary focus is meeting the daily living needs of the poor. The staff sponsors a food pantry and clothing closet throughout the year. Individuals and families can also receive assistance and counseling with any financial or legal matter. The pastoral care counselor goes out into the community and visits with individuals and families involved in all of the programs. This hands-on approach helps to break down the barriers of isolation and frustration that many people in the surrounding community experience on a daily basis. The dental care program is the most unique aspect of the Manos de Cristo programming. The 3-chair dental clinic is currently serving more than 250 patients each month. The staff includes a full-time administrator, dental assistant, and a dentist on staff 3 days a week. The clinic sponsors a preventive program in the neighborhood elementary schools. A grant has enabled the staff to provide cleanings, examinations, and 6-year molar sealant applications for all second graders in the schools. The majority of the clinic's patients, however, are on an emergency basis, having been referred by the many helping agencies in the Austin community. The dental clinic has a sliding fee scale payment program, but no one is ever turned away due to their inability to pay.
I suppose it wasn't funny. Okay, there we go. There is a good little view of especially that dental care service. I think that's one of the few it's extended people, the working poor, as I understand. Is that right?
Yes, yes it is. And we are now serving more than twice as many as we were at the time the video was made. We're serving about 6,000 patients a year at the clinic.
And that's right on the corner of Waller and Cesar Chavez.
Yes, it is. 3 blocks east of I-35.
Now, around the corner on Willow is where the church is, and you're headquartered there with the organization's headquarters, and right next door is the Early Childhood Development Center.
Yes, it is. We used to be in the house that is no longer there. We are housing in the fellowship hall, and that is our stay for the moment. We've been there since September, so we're very, very close to Manos now. We're just right across the courtyard.
Okay.
So.
And then you're planning to have a building that goes up where the house was, and sometime this year you hope to have that done?
Yes. In 1996, we received a grant from the City of Austin. It's called a CDBG grant for $1 million. And of that money, $818,000 was allocated for the construction of the building.
Okay. The city provided that much?
Yes.
Good.
And we have, because of the bids and the cost of the construction in Austin have skyrocketed, I understand from the quotes that it went anywhere from 50 to 100% up more than it was in 96. We're having to raise the difference in the funds to build this building that we're trying to do for the kids.
Sure. Now, I think that one thing that Manos has in common with the work that Linda does with the Early Childhood Development Center is the care for kids. And the Sanchez School is in the neighborhood there, not far from the church, and you're connected particularly with the tutoring. They call it the tutoring and mentoring?
Mentoring.
Yeah. What does that involve?
Well, that involves spending about an hour a week at Sanchez Elementary, meeting with children there. If you're tutoring, what you do is you're actually involved with a particular classroom. Let's say we have tutors in the 4th grade and 5th grade. I think perhaps some in the 2nd grade. I'm not sure if we still do in the earlier grades.
Okay.
But you spend time reading, talking with the children.
Okay, so this is a supplement to what the teachers are doing.
Yes, it is.
It's coming from the community.
And
it's with the purpose of strengthening, in a way, the public education institution there in that neighborhood.
Yes, I would say so. And then the mentoring program, you would, if you are interested in mentoring, then you would meet with the children over their lunch hour.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and then you usually share lunch with them.
Do you do that?
I do.
I understand we have a little poem here that,
Yes.
that one of your children wrote. Let's see if we can see something of that. It says to the effect that...
it says, I don't have it memorized, but it says something like a river flows, a mentor flows with it, and is in our hearts, stays in our hearts.
Yeah. So the child who wrote that was for you?
Yes.
How long have you worked with this youngster?
Oh, I guess about 6 months, since last October.
Okay. So you developed, it's been kind of a bonding that's occurred there.
I mentored with two fourth grade girls at the same time. And we meet in the library and eat our lunch.
Okay. So you both tutor and mentor
Yes.
these youngsters? Okay. What difference can you tell that that's made, the individual time that you spent with those two?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what difference it makes. I know I enjoy it. I think they enjoy it. They have some time set aside each week, I know, to be to have some special attention paid to them and to let them know that they are important and interesting and are fun.
So the teachers say these particular children could use some extra attention and some...
Or they sign up themselves.
Oh, they
actually.
do?
Yes,
I see.
they do.
Okay.
One of the girls I mentor signed up, and then the other girl is her friend. And she came along and the first time and has continued to come every time.
Now, how many mentors and tutors does Manos provide in association with Sanchez?
I believe about 10 right now.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. So
this is the second year we have done that at Sanchez.
And is part of some kind of an AISD program too?
Yes, AISD, Partners in Education.
It's interesting, you know, the extent to which individual attention, I would guess that would be the name of the game over at Buen Pastor Early Childhood Development too, isn't it, Linda?
It's wonderful. The attention that the children receive on a daily basis from the staff it's unique, I think. And I've always been praised and encouraged to continue to keep my staff because they've been there for 20 years.
Some of your staff has been there 20 years?
20 years, that's
right. Is that right?
The only one that we have difficulty maintaining are the people like my cook, that I'm desperately looking for someone to always stay put because we want food for the children. But the staff themselves have gone to a lot of sacrifices, obtaining not only their GEDs and then went on to ACC and obtained a child development certificate.
Right.
And they did this while they were working full time with the children.
Oh, wow.
So I've always admired them, and I pray every night that their calling at El Buen Pastor will always be El Buen Pastor. That's real selfish on my part, but I don't know what I would do without them. They're just so cool.
Well, the very fact that you've had folks that have stayed with you that long testifies to the fact that this is unlike. I've understood that in many child care centers, the turnover is quite a bit. I mean, the pay isn't that great.
No, it isn't. And I know that Austin is making that an emphasis this year, is to emphasize on raising salaries for staff that are working with our children and hanging on to them and finding ways to provide benefits other than the very minimum ones.
Right.
That's always been a, and I'm not sure we'll find the answer, but we're working forward to getting better benefits for staff as well as salaries, just to keep their, their livelihoods.
I think we may have numbers for each of these works with children, the Manos number and the El Buen Pastor Early Childhood Development Center that we'll, I think, try to show along the way here so that if people want to find out.
Oh, telephone numbers.
The telephone numbers, right. And they can call and get more information from you at that point.
Yes.
And the thing is that I think we do have the numbers there. And we'll come back to that a little later in the show just to review it. The uniqueness in both programs. I mean, there are a number of child care centers around the city. There's something very unique about what's going on there, and that's represented by the fact that these staff folks stay with you. And something unique about Manos that I don't know if there are many, if any, other dental services provided to the working poor, just kind of like that in the city. So those are the uniqueness aspects of these that we'll come back to in the second half. But right now we're going to take a break. Catch our let you folks do the same, and look forward to seeing you in just about a minute. but stay with us. Welcome back to this edition of Austin Faith Dialogue, where today we are privileged to have a couple of folks connected to an East Austin ministry represented by Manos de Cristo and by the Buen Pastor Early Childhood Development Center. Mary Alloway, as we come back, thank you for being with us as a board member of Manos, and Linda for being the director of this Early Childhood Development Center. I think maybe let's just focus for a moment on the fact that you've been operating in a house, kind of a small house. With how many children have you been serving?
We had 62 children we were serving
Okay.
in a house that was about, with the, what we turned into a classroom was a garage, and it was about 1,200 square feet, 12 to 1,400 square feet that we used.
Why am I thinking of old Mother Hubbard, who had so many children she
I
didn't know what
know,
to
we
do?
were so crowded and so intense that one day someone said, "How would you like to build a new building?" I said, "Yes, yes, and yes."
Yeah.
Well, that was there was more words than I could chew at the time, but we were so anxious and eager to do something for the children that we took it on.
So you've had a groundbreaking for this new building, and I think we have something to show that what this is going to look like. Your target date of having this done is when?
We want to be in there in the fall of 2000, but it depends on the rain, it depends on contractors and, you know, permits and all that kind of good things that have to go on before a building is gone. This is a 2-story building that has been designed by Godfrey Limbacher and Vanoy. They're architects that are, they're wonderful people, wonderful people. I like to tease them because when they first asked me what I wanted inside, and I said, well, I want 2 toilets in each classroom, and they go, what? So I had to come back and say, envision yourself being 2 years old and there's 5 other children having to go to the bathroom at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So then they begin to really think child type of mentality. But we're hoping that it'll be up in the fall where we can go from that 1,200 to 1,400 square feet to about 87 to 9,000 square feet.
Oh, wow, that's a big jump.
It's a 2-story building. We're going to serve, our goal is to serve infants as well as junior high children.
Oh, really?
Right now we serve 12-year-olds. That is our license limit. But we're wanting to serve 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds.
I see you were featured in a magazine here. What is that?
This was done by the Child Care Exchange back in August. This is a house in the back where we were.
Oh.
And they came out, Bonnie, and I'm going to mess up her name, Nassenhauer.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Sounds
Bonnie. Came out, and she was really impressed that we've been able to stay in this little house for 25 years. So they did a little article on the Child Care Center, and we mentioned to them that we were going to be moving out. That house is no longer there, by the way.
Okay.
We have pure land waiting for a new building to go up. And it just, the article is about how we came about 25 years ago with Austin Metropolitan Ministries and all the Presbyterian churches that were our mentors at the time.
I see.
And all the individuals, wonderful people like Carl Siegenthaler, who was there, always supportive and always encouraging. Rose Lancaster was wonderful and encouraging and giving us ideas on how to grow.
Well, now this this building that you're going into, you're really expanding the
Yes, we are.
the range of youngsters.
We had, in 1995, we did a survey in the area, Rick, that showed, and Mary knows a lot more of this than I, how we were losing a lot of our children to the gangs.
Oh, to the gangs.
And
I see.
because there's nowhere for them to go, and there's no one at home to tend to them.
I see.
So with the help of the city council, we felt like if we had a program there in the upstairs, the whole upstairs level will be for school agers.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to invite, and have been all along inviting, such as the American Statesman, to come in and mentor these children. What Mary's doing at Sanchez, we would like for that to come to have any person who wants to mentor children, wants to, like a big brother, big sister type of program.
Right,
We
right.
want Austin Community College to come in and have classes in the evening for parents who would like to take classes and expand their educational
So you
background.
can hardly call it just early childhood development center anymore.
It's going to be for the family. Anything that will help that child make it through elementary and junior high and high school and on into college. If we need to help them by being a support system for their families, then we're going to try
I
our
see.
best.
Well, now, Mary, you listen to that, and you've been following the way this has unfolded over the years. I mean, this is something that I know. In addition to being on the board of Manos, you've been a supporter of what Linda's been doing as well.
Yes.
And
I think it's a wonderful work, and that we are fortunate to be able to reach out to those children. They bless your own life, they've blessed my life, and it's really a gift to be able to be involved in the lives of these children.
Well, I was noting the fact that when I asked a while ago what difference in working with these children has it made, you first mentioned yourself.
Yes.
That it's not so much the kids who are benefiting as that you're getting a lot out
I
of
know I am. So if they're enjoying it like I am, then I think we're doing well.
it. Yeah. Now, what about volunteers at both organizations? You have quite a bit of through Manos. How many people are volunteering? Do you have any idea what that is?
I really don't have any idea, but there are lots of areas where people do volunteer. There is the clothes closet. Then there's the back to school clothes closet, which is held in August, or the end of July and beginning of August, and that is where the clothes closet at Buen Pastor Presbyterian Church is open just for children, and it has just children's clothes in it. The children come with their parents, and they pick out their own clothes, and the Presbyterian churches in the area are strong supporters of this and help provide the clothes for the children there. And then there's also a food pantry, and like I said, the dental clinic and ESL classes, English as second language classes. So people volunteer in all of these areas
Wow.
at Manos.
Okay. So that you got so many volunteers, you don't need so much money? Is that what you're...
Oh no, well we need both.
Uh-huh.
We need both to support these programs. The dental clinic, those who come, they pay a fee that is only a small portion of what it costs to do the procedures there. And of course, we do not turn away anyone if they cannot pay. And then we need funding to keep the lights on, and to have a director who is wonderful.
So it's
Lydia
on a sliding
Hernandez.
scale for people who come in, what they can afford, in other words.
Yes, yes.
And I understand you got a full-time dentist there, and then volunteers otherwise.
Yes, we have, well, we have two dentists that come. I don't know that it's exactly full-time. Each of their schedules are somewhat different. And then we also have volunteers from the community, from the dental community in Austin, who come and volunteer their time.
Doesn't Seton East have a connection with your work?
They do. I'm not sure exactly what that connection is. They are a medical clinic,
Right.
as I understand it, and but they do support Manos de Cristo through
I
grants.
I understood that there was some
Yes.
grants involved. And then, meanwhile, over on your side, you got this money from the city to help you build this building, but you got some grants from other sources.
We did. The good news was that we got the money for a building, and then the good news was that we needed to raise money to obtain the building that is going to be erected in that place. Before the bids went out, we needed to raise $238,000, and we've got a wonderful grant writer that we share with Manos. And she's great. And so she helped raise the funds, and when the bids came back in, we discovered again that the lowest bid was still $150,000 higher than what we had raised.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing presently, is trying to obtain the difference so that we can finish this building the way it needs to be completed.
Okay. Well, again, I think it'd be well to show some numbers here for people that would like to know about volunteer opportunities or how they could be of supportive to you otherwise. And the thing is, too, I believe, doesn't Manos have a Cinco de Mayo event that is sort of a
Yes.
festival that is also a fundraiser as well?
Yes. The women of El Buen Pastor Presbyterian Church are strongly involved, and they donate their time to prepare the meal, and then there are usually mariachis, and it is a fun event.
And where will that be this year?
Well, I'm not for sure where that will be this year.
One of the...
It is normally in the fellowship hall at El Buen
yeah,
Pastor
right. And you all are taking
And
up
we-
that
And
space.
they are
aren't you?
using it. I think it's going to be at another
We're
Presbyterian
going to try to
church.
do so. We've tried real hard to cooperate, but if you set up a classroom to meet the criteria of daycare licensing, it's very difficult on weekends to roll everything up and put it up. So.
Come to think about it, I think Lydia Hernandez, the director of your
Yes.
organization, told me, I think it was going to be at Westminster Presbyterian Church.
That's likely
in
where
May,
it will be.
right.
Since our board meetings have been there instead of at Manos.
Okay, yeah, well, that's great to have people throughout the metropolitan area, your
Yes.
church at Westlake Hills and Westminster, and I'm sure Covenant has been
Covenant is very much involved.
in Central, and all the
Central Presbyterian,
Right.
Shepherd of the Hills,
Okay,
First Church.
Hope
First Presbyterian. Hope,
Yes.
okay, faith, hope, and love, right?
Right. Faith Presbyterian it is as well.
And I think that it's just great to have you represent two aspects, really the same ministry. It's two organizations and all that, but it's really one Hands of Christ, Manos de Cristo, and Hands through your Early Childhood Development Center. And I would say blessings on both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Mary Alloway and Linda Ruiz, and thank you folks for looking. I'm Richard Thompson, and peace be with you.